There almost half a century and basically sold it to Brazilian state. The day when basically the palace was sold to Brazilian state, Italian journalist wrote in the newspaper that the Palazzo Pompilio will be physically moved to Brazil, which caused a couple of heart attacks, which is actually not true because you can see here, I mean, still it's Palazzo Pompilio over there, a Brazilian embassy. So that we'll head over for the Piazza Navona nearby, and it will be our beautiful walk of the approximately 3K steps. Siete pronti? Okay, ready? Sì. Andiamo, let's go!
If you take fast, we can take fast. Because I have
Prove vocali, ma se sono già le 8. No, io devo fare tragedi di
Roman Stadium, Roman State, Roman Empire collapsed, and the Romans were looking for different purpose. And it became such a famous place in the 7th century.
Where do you guys from?
Malaysia.
Malaysia?
I'm from Malaysia and both of them from China.
Oh, okay. You guys speak Chinese?
Yeah,
Chinese?
they speak Chinese.
I see.
Sweet.
Thanks. Yeah.
So there we came in the beautiful Piazza Navona. Is it the first time for everyone here? No. Not really? Okay, so you have seen the fountain, it's renovated already. Piazza Navona is over here, is actually the central Times Square of the city. One of the most crowded and also for not a bad use. It's actually a really famous place. Navona, originally Piazza Navona. The name of a person. Navona is a Roman misunderstanding of a Greek word agone. Agone means athletic games, sports. So in fact, Romans were looking for the local stadium in the center of Rome. So we had here, if you look at the shape of the piazza, you will easily recognize having a rectangular one, which means was used actually for athletic games. And Emperor Domitian in the year 85, 88 said, guys, look, Colosseum is for comedy, for drama, for theater. But here we have athletic sport place. So from the year 85, it became to be the central sport place in Rome. In fact, the ruins of the stadium of Domitian, Stadio Domiziano, they are located underneath this cobblestone road. So in fact, Romans current government preserved it, and if you want to see the remains of the Stadium of Domitian, you have to go over for the building which is located on the opposite part of the piazza with a big poster, which is located right behind the obelisk over there. That will be the entrance point. So you will not skip it, having a big QR code on the doors. You will descend almost 10 meters to the level of the ground, and that will be the entrance point for the Stadium of Domitian. Well, Romans, after the collapse of Roman state, realized they can reconstruct it. So the piazza was basically make it bigger, and so far they made like on top additional layer of concrete top and follow up by the concrete installation. So far it made the new use, so it was to be the biggest mercato in Rome. A mercato for almost 10 centuries. starting from the 6th century AD and until basically 17th century. So far, it makes the area of the biggest fruit and vegetable market in the city. If you open any Renaissance painting, you'll see how Italians have been selling fruits and vegetables for all of the centuries in Rome. And so far, it makes the area for that. We finally been lucky having a couple of popes from the Vatican. First of all, Barberini family had the Pope Urban VIII, who represented the idea of building fountains of the Piazza Navona. So the three of them had been idea of the Pope Urban VIII, member of Barberini family, who said, look, we will invite a couple of geniuses, Giacomo della Porta and poi Gian Lorenzo Bernini, who will be working for the three projects. First of all, there you will see the fountain absolutely renovated. Guys, you cannot even imagine how lucky you are to see every single fountain working and renovated, because it was Jubileo preparation last year. Everything was closed in the scaffolding of the fencing. Everything was shut down. Nothing was even possible to see on the Piazza Navona. So far, the fountain of the Moor, Fontana del Moro, is dating back to the 1651, originally projected by Giacomo della Porta and represented by Gian Lorenzo Bernini. The central one, that's actually Trevi fountain competitor. Gian Lorenzo Bernini capolavoro, masterpiece of the lifetime of him in the middle of the 17th century. And the next pope who came after the Urban VIII, the member of Pamphili family, you can see here the palace, which is Brazilian embassy right now, said, we will construct the biggest magnet of the piazza. So it will be the fountain representing the idea of the four rivers. So Vatican had been considering several rivers. There are a couple of statues in front, like left and the right, and a couple on the opposite part. The one on the right with a big paddle between the legs is symbolizing River Ganges in India, and the one on the left is actually saying that it's touching the coat of arms of Pamphili family. That's actually Danube or Donau, the longest river in Europe so far. On the opposite part, you will not skip a big statue of the Nile in Africa. It will be having like a veiled head, like fully covered with a veil. And so far, it will be marking the last one from the left side, the Rio de la Plata in South America. It's actually located in Argentina, where the biggest population of Italians is located in South America. Argentina is extremely famous for being the biggest migration for Italians in the South America.
Wow.
So far, it makes the idea of a pope who had been commissioned the fountain and said, it's beautiful, but I really lack one detail. It will be an obelisk installed over the top. So you can see that Egyptian obelisk over there, which is having a number of hieroglyphs, which are, by fact, a bunch of nonsense copied by Romans, because not every single obelisk you see in Rome is authentic. That one is a fake one. It means it was copied by Romans in Rome. So we consider that to be the first fake obelisk in the city. And last one is the Fountain of Neptune, over there. Will be your home task. It's also Giacomo della Porta project, but it was only finalized in 19th century. So far, Pope said, look, it's beautiful and I still need my family church to be constructed. So that's actually from the left side, the family church of the Pope. That's over there. Sant'Agnese in Agone. So far, the Church of Saint Agnes in Agone. Beautiful project by Girolamo and Carlo Rainaldi, the authors of the Palazzo Pamphili. Wasn't completed because Pope said, I don't like your performance, so please take the money, get out. The project will be delegated for Francesco Borromini. Francesco Borromini came and, in fact, constructed the left and the right bell tower. You can see it over there, and the dome. By far, the dome became to be the most decorated part. If you head over inside, you'll be amazed by the presence of the frescoes by Ciro Ferri, representing the whole story of life of the saint. It's actually one of the most precise fresco created in the 17th century. And so far, it makes to be 20 years of the construction time, and I really recommend you to check it out, the crypt area of the church, in which you will see the skull of the Saint Agnes inside. But right now, Piazza Navona is crowded, as you can see, and it did not change the shape after the church was really constructed. So I'm really giving you the idea to come back again in Rome in the month of December, in which we'll have the biggest Christmas market in Italy, like Mercato di Natale. So far, it will be the biggest one in Italy, and you will be really enjoying. Yeah.
What month?
Yeah, it will be basically from December to January. Like not just one day, like the whole month. If you'll be here, you'll be just enjoying the Christmas activities in Rome.
This year or
every single year. And Piazza Navona is only the beginning. We'll still have approximately 20 sites we'll speak about, and we'll head over for Pantheon. Pantheon will be our next stop that way. Andiamo. partially part of the government Mussolini was there. After the Second World War, the Italian government retaken the property, basically didn't purchase. They maintained the Ministry of Culture, partially the Ministry of Interior, and then they realized they were making a That's the idea. I heard that there were actually family members. The member of yes, it's law case is the law of government to take the property. That's correct. But not every law case. Sorry. Anyway, today we'll also be at the Palazzo Venezia, where Mussolini did all the propaganda. We'll also cover that topic as well. Now comes the question for you guys. Is anyone wanna drink a fresh water at the drinking fountain? Are you thirsty?
Me too. Me.
Okay, so let's head over for the underrated fountain of the 4 books nearby. That way, just in a couple of steps. Andiamo. We have an underrated fountain of the 4 books nearby.
Oh, are you coming here before?
Oh, we've been here before, but it's not the same rooms, right? It's like
Oh,
yeah, so this is kind of like refreshing.
refresh. The city is nicest.
Yeah.
And it was like all time ago, I'm already 20. So yeah, I did my whole shoot and and then I moved to France and then to UK, US, and before coming to Italy I was living in China.
So that's why you speak so many languages?
Maybe. I don't know whether I speak really a lot. So far, I brought us to this beautiful and underrated fountain of the 4 books. Have you seen this fountain in the tour guide? Like recommended for everyone?
No.
Just a treasure fountain, I know.
Yeah.
That is actually the fountain called Fontana dei Libri, or the Fountain of Books, or the Fountain of 4 Books, representing this neighborhood we are in. So that makes the idea of a Roman government in 1920s to say, we want to ask Pietro Lombardi, the Roman architect, to create a fountain for us using only one material, travertino, the limestone from the Lazio. So it's actually one of the cheapest fountains from the financial statement. And despite of this look, it's really new. It's only from 1927, less than a century that it was constructed. So we have an idea, of the several things represented. SQR, that's the main motto. Whenever we go SQR, the 5 dots is actually the Medici's coat of arms. We have a Palazzo Madama nearby, which is right there. The Senate of Italy represented there, but originally constructed by Alessandro Medici. Well, in fact, we have 4 books, logically representing the access to the knowledge. And my question is to you: have someone tried Jägermeister, the spirit? Do you remember, like, Staghead and the Elders, right? So all there. Now, we come here to speak about the biography of one saint, Saint Eustace, son of Eustachio. So Saint Eustace originally a Roman general who actually converted from paganism to Christianity. And when he was on the hunt, he basically had seen Jesus, and so far was shocked by this, and he converted to Christianity. And when he came back to Rome, he was executed. So far, that's actually the symbol of his saint, which marketing department of the Jägermeister company uses as the brand logo. So that makes the idea of a brand logo, but originally that's actually the symbol of the saint. No one cares. No one can go to court and sue them. And that goes for the idea of R, which is here with them, neighborhood. Number 4, which is actually incorrect. That goes for S, son, and Eustachio, which is Saint Eustace, which means the neighborhood, the number 4, and Saint Eustachio, Saint Eustace. Super and worked the same for almost a century, like it was created. Now, whenever you are in Rome, please not just buy water and throw the just bottle away. When you see it, just refill it, and it's absolutely safe. Okay?
Are they fresh water, right?
Yeah, 50% is supplied by the aqueduct, mostly Aqua Virgo. You will today see the entrance point for the museum, and the other 50% is basically modern supply system, the pipelines, which is absolutely safe to drink and still underrated. Like most of the people have no idea about this fountain. I have no idea why. Now we'll continue our way to see Pantheon, our next stop in a couple of steps. And you don't have a lot of drinking fountains in Texas.
No, we don't. We only drinking
But you should have
bottled water.
The climate in Texas is really, it would be great to have a drinking fountain on the street.
It's very humid.
And
Whereas here-
hot.
I think it's here weather is way better.
Yeah, it's so far it's not like the top. Like in August time, we have a time called Ferragosto, which means the holiday of the August, the emperor, which is the time when Romans rush out from the city for the seaside, for the mountains.
Right.
And that's the time when basically the city becomes empty because there is nothing to do here. It's extremely hot here, almost 45 Celsius in the direct sun.
Wow.
Which is like, this is
That's
why
lots.
no one like is going in Rome in August.
All
it
right.
makes no sense.
Yes.
Because it's just too hot. Like this time, like this evening time in August will be maybe plus 35. Which
Right.
is like absolutely hot to walk.
Yeah. Wait, so what month is the hottest one?
August.
August
definitely.
is.
Mm-hmm.
How
And,
many seasons do you guys in here? They have
To
two.
like a really long summer and a really long autumn. Like no snow is here.
So there's no snow.
No.
No, like
For my time.
flooding.
No.
No flood. Oh,
Just my time.
nice.
Look, that's the shoes I wear all year round. I never change it
Yeah.
because there is no snow here, and I was like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
And I basically wear jeans all the year round,
Yeah.
and also the t-shirt. So I was like, fine. I don't need nothing really. So when you move to Rome, it's
Yeah.
also good from the financial side. You will spend less on the clothes. But
Clothes.
it depends if you're married,
Yeah.
then your wife will have more clothes in Rome
Oh.
because she wants to wear more dresses,
Oh, okay.
which is logical.
But does the government give some assistance if we have children?
Yes, it depends. It does. They have some allowance, some social fees, some cards for the food or something like that. They do it like
Yeah.
normally. Yeah. So here, it's really worth it. I would say.
Worth this? Yeah. How about education?
It's extremely cheap. Like
No.
I paid for my La Sapienza degree.
Yeah.
Every single year I paid 200 euro
200 euro?
for 1 year study.
That's including the
I know.
food or just the
everything,
tuition?
Everything.
200 euro? Wow. I could move here.
In Deutschland, in Germany, actually it's free. Like if you study in German, it's free. I was thinking to do my bachelor also in Germany, but I was thinking about the history, so I have chosen Rome, which is like that. We had been covering the paying topic for many Americans, like tuition fees. Like I had been studying La Sapienza. La Sapienza is the biggest one, and I paid 200 euro for 1 year of study.
That's
That's
not.
not much at all.
No, not compared to.
Yeah, my friend living in Boston with the MIT is like paying 100,000 in a year.
No,
Yeah.
that is the very low,
I was like,
very
come on,
normal.
leave that degree, come to Rome and study with me the history.
Australia is the same. Yeah.
So anyway, we came to the side of the Pantheon. That's actually entrance point for the Pantheon. We'll cover that as well. We will go along the Pantheon. We will come as much as closer we can. So Pantheon originally, that temple is one of the oldest spots in the city of Rome, and so far one of the best preserved. Colosseum will be one of the oldest spots in this tour, but Pantheon is way more older. Pantheon originally dating back to the year 27 BC. It's the idea of Marcus Agrippa, absolutely talented man who had no defeat in the military campaigns, probably the most successful Roman general in the history of a Roman state so far, was thinking about bringing the glory for Romans there, and it was basically the veneration issue for the first Emperor Augustus. So 27 BC, they had been using only wood and the stone. So the first temple of Pantheon was extremely vulnerable. It wasn't like that. So if they could be just using wood and the stone, Pantheon would not become a legend at all. So the first temple of Pantheon was in fact constructed like that, like a typical Greek temple, but it was destroyed by the fire in the year 880. Well, Domitiano, who constructed that stadium on the Piazza Navona, tried to reconstruct the Pantheon, but he failed because they had been lacking specific engineering principles and also the specific materials. So far, Titus, who also was there before Domitian, also failed. And finally we have Adrian, who did the job in the 2nd century AD by adding rotunda part. Rotunda is basically a sphere created by applying specific principle of a 6.2 meters of thickness of the walls, having inside 43 meters vertically and 43 horizontally, creating an ideal shape of the sphere. So far it makes the idea of a rotunda being added officially in the year 125 AD, which means approximately we should have like an anniversary, 1,900 years old of Pantheon right now. And you guys came in the right time to Rome because we have a Pentecost a couple of days ago. Pentecost happens 50 days after Easter time, and it means if you could be inside, you should see in the midday specific holy day in which Vigili del Fuoco, Roman firefighters, are spreading millions of rose petals on the people. I will show you a video. I was there. Like it's looking like absolutely. It sounds like insane, but I will show you. Anyway, so that makes the idea of Pantheon that was constructed officially 1,900 years ago. And every single column you see there, except for the 3 from the east side, we'll actually cover that from the left side. Any single we see is actually having Egyptian origin. It was also transported from Egypt manually by human hand, applying hundreds of human force and the same number of the horses, basically. And it was erected manually, and even more when you will pass by, you will notice just numbers of the traces of ropes. It means it was transported just manually and erected manually by human force. And from the left, from that east side, you will see several columns being erected, but they had been glued up, like they had been actually brought from the nearby site of Bath of Nero. That's actually Bath of Nero. These a couple of columns had been before Bath of Nero from the year 40 AD, when a couple of columns of the Pantheon got destroyed. Romans were like, okay, if they are destroyed, we will take a nearby Bath of Nero, a couple of columns, and move it to support the fourth part of the Pantheon. Super simple, and it was really working really nice until right now, basically. In the meantime, when we actually pass by over the top of the columns area, you will see inscription about Marcus Agrippa. It will be saying very famous proverb, which is translated as Marcus Agrippa, son of Lucius, consul for 3 times, made it. It was a specific way of paying respect from Hadrian to the author, to Marcus Agrippa. This is why you can see his name. Like we will pass by, you will see M. Agrippa. That's like, hey, I pay respect to the original author of Pantheon in the 27 BC. Then the top part, like this pediment part, the frontispiece, like having that triangle shape, will have no columns at all. Like only holes will be inside. Some of you might ask me, like, why that just empty and many holes on the inside? So what happened? Vatican, who converted Pantheon to the church, decided to remove the statues officially, and half of them are lost to the history, and half of them are property of the Vatican, which you cannot see on your tour in the St. Pietro Basilica. Actually, they had been taken, like I said, as the property of Vatican, and they are not there from the 7th century AD. Now that comes the time when we speak about Pentecost. So, 8th of June was day before yesterday. So, on the day, May 13, the year 609, Pope himself Pope Boniface IV brought himself the icon, basically from Byzantine, from Constantinople, and installed in the center of Pantheon, which you will see if you'll go for the tour of the Pantheon. You will see when you just enter, you will see directly the icon brought by Pope. And in fact, the Pope said, we will celebrate this facility, this event, with a specific way. We will spread just numbers of the rose petals by us, and it will be looking like this. I was thinking like whether I should go there or not. I basically decided to go, and I really not regret. In fact, if you want to go and see the same next year, you should calculate 50 days after Easter, and you will see something like this. Yeah, it's the just millions of the rose petals spread from the eye of the dome, from the largest unreinforced concrete. I apologize, just a small video like I did. those are just roses, and they are manually spread from the eye of the dome, like basically just millions of them.
What does represent?
Sorry?
What does represent?
It's basically represent the time when the apostles had been granted the Holy Spirit, so that they made the symbolism with the rose petals and the flowers. Yeah. So really enjoy the time. Next time, if you'll come back to Rome next year, same day, you'll see Pentecost Sunday will be having like millions of the rose petals.
Nice.
And right now, Pantheon is having a number of things inside. Not paintings, no, it will be tombs of the country. Now, we speak about the time of unification of Italy. Victor Emmanuel II, the king, is actually buried there. So that makes the Italy kind of younger than the United States officially. So like United States officially is actually older than Italy, despite of this city being really older than everything in Europe, except for Athens. So far, Umberto I, his son, who was also the king, is also buried there. Margherita, the wife of him, and the same Raphael Sanzio, Raphael the same. One man was really a topic of my interest on my bachelor, so I actually studied Antonio Canova biography. Antonio Canova was an architect from Italy, and he wanted to have his burial provided there. And he basically sent official mail to the government, like letter, and the government rejected him. His workaround for constructing Pantheon was to do it by his own, which is called as a Tempio Canoviano. In Italy, we have a copy of Pantheon. Have you heard about it? If you head over for Venice, for Venezia, don't hesitate to rent the car to see something like this. Tempio Canoviano, one-to-one copy of the Pantheon from the 19th century. That's the only one direct copy of Pantheon in the world, and it's located in Italy. And it's an extremely big building, like really big. The same size. Located in Possagno. Possagno is a 1-hour ride from Venice by car, called Tempio Canoviano. So Pantheon became to be the biggest inspiration for all of the architects who came to the city. In the US, I don't even know the numbers of buildings had been created. I remember Jefferson Memorial Library of Columbia University, Capitol building. There is no exact number. In Italy, we have churches like San Francesco in Paola in Naples. We have San Bernardo alle Terme in Rome. We have Bundestag building by Berlin, which was architect inspired by Pantheon, and many more. Oh, of course, Santa Maria del Fiore in Firenze. So that's actually living legend and the oldest part of our tour today in the center of Rome. And we'll pass by right now. We'll just go along. For seeing our next stop, the church will go inside, specific one. So andiamo.
Hey, so when the Egyptians bring the pillar from over there to here, how
Romans brought basically Egyptian pillar. This is why people ask hey, where
so what did they pay for the labor?
When they did pay for the labor?
Yeah. What did they pay?
Typically,
to
they were
check.
coins. You speak about the payment, how the payment was looking like. Coins.
Oh, like money, right?
Okay. Coins made either from argento, the silver, or bronze, or if it's an honorable job, it was gold. But gold wasn't really used as the method of currency exchange, right?
Yeah.
It was basically silver most of the time.
So they pay to the king, or they pay to the people who carrying the.
It depends. If they were basically like slave people who had been using, they had been not paid directly.
Oh.
And yet the people who had been doing the project, orchestration of everything, they had been paid directly by officials of Rome, by the helpers of emperor. And so far, it makes the idea of at that time, payment was also executed in the specific location.
Yeah.
The money district in Rome is located not too far from the spot we'll go there. So in Rome there is a street, Via dei Argentari, not too far from the Piazza Venezia. We'll be there, in which still you can see the warehouses where money officials had been operating with.
So they're using this, they pay the people by silver or gold? Silver, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And Rome is also good, like I said, for observing how you can see facilities, how merchants, traders who have been doing the currency exchange still are visible, in the city of Rome. And Via dei Argentari, there is also the place which you can see how they have been doing the currency exchange from the Roman time. All right, so taking a photo, and then we'll see
Like the sunset.
And I own the skill.
Okay, yes. I think it's the best way.
Yeah, because
I'm not a friend from scooter. And I think I was a rental road bike. It's easier to have a place where you can
just correct. Just the case with the parking space. That you, like it will be a challenge to find the parking space. Like
Yes.
it will be like if you come in the center, in the center of Dallas or Houston in the holiday to find a parking space, you would like to really enjoy the time. Maybe I don't know.
I cannot ride here. This one is so difficult.
Like believe me, like the most difficult part I had was driving in Naples. Like in Naples, it was really a case.
Yeah.
And Rome is still somehow okay, but the most secured way I had been driving in Italy was in Milan. Like in Milan, pretty safe, absolutely okay. The same applied for if you remember, there is a Südtirol, like a Bolzano, Bolzano. So it's like the northern Italy, the Alps. It's also absolutely safe. And in Rome it's different. Right, so that's our way to see one of the most spectacular churches you might have in Rome. I wouldn't ask boring questions. How many churches you have visited already? Maybe just one, two?
No,
None. Today, none. Okay, the same for you guys as well? Yeah, just zero.
Today,
Zero. Okay, so we have 950 churches. I'm really sure that you don't have time to see every single. This is why I brought us here. It's not too far from Pantheon, and it's open until 10 p.m. So it's not crowded as well today, because Church of Sant'Ignazio di Loyola, Church of Saint Ignatius di Loyola, is an often host for many celebrations, for many holidays. And first of all, it became to be a reason for study and a praying place for Jesuits. Jesuits originated from Sant'Ignazio, from the middle of the 16th century, who was a Spaniard. He came from Spain here, and he created, again, a topic of the pain, a free educational institution in the 16th century called Collegio Romano. Collegio Romano was looking just for the students. Basically, it was free educational institution and made presumably for scholars, for theologians. But the people should also have not just a study place and also the praying place. Before was a different church, Santa Maria Annunziata. It wasn't really prominent. Nothing was there until the Jesuits realized that they can find a sponsor who will find the money, and so they found Cardinal Ludovisi, who basically purchased this land. And from the 1626, they started to construct the church. Unofficially, they finalized in the 1685, but Pope did not refuse basically that. elected for his own and decided to bless it and consecrate only in 1722. So it's just a century of the construction time, really not really long ago. Facade is absolutely unprominent. It's Orazio Grassi, the main architect, doing the collaboration with Antonio Sasso and Carlo Maderno. Nothing is really there, just a travertine. We came actually for the inside. So please follow me, we'll speak about the main concept of the inside part. Andiamo.
Hai filo?
Name of the convent.
Yeah, yeah,
No, the one who put another coin.
Oh, so, oh.
he was a mathematician and very good with the geometry.
What's the artist?
Andrea Pozzo.
Oh.
Andrea Pozzo, it sounds unfamiliar, I know, because actually outside of Italy he's not really famous. Inside, yes. So Andrea Pozzo did this for 14 years in total. The light will be back again. So it made the idea for several continents. The first layer of the optical illusion having America there. America, if you can see, that's actually the symbol of America. Europa, which is Europe on the right side there, goes for the Asia and also Africa. So we have here 4 continents as being the first layer.
Asia, Europa.
America is there. If you will come closer, you see America.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
This goes for the Africa, the last one. So the second layer will be his companions of the Jesuits. So they are located there, like over there. That black toga wearing is also his companion of the Jesuit Society. And the last one, wearing that blue toga to the center, right in the center. That's actually Saint Ignatius himself. So that makes the bit of the optical illusion feeling. Even more here, we have a combination of a painting and also sculpture. That character, Roman mythology, created by Andrea Pozzo on that window frame from the right side. His left side palm is not a painting, it's actually a sculpture. So that, like part of this, like you see, is sculpture, incorporate the structure of the window frame. Andrea Pozzo also did the job for the doll here. Like this one is doing the stuff and tricking the human eyesight for more than 2 centuries. Is it a real or a fake? From this point of view, it's hard to say because we are standing for this location. This one is the yellow marble is created by Orazio Grassi. For us, it's the best viewpoint for the dome. So, 1695, Andrea Pozzo painted the dome because it was no money issue for the church.
That's a dome.
It's a painting, and it's absolutely flat.
What kind of paint do they use back then?
Basically oil. This one is oil, fully oil. So there had be different, but if you're doing frescoes job in the church, it's basically better to use oil combined with the specific inks. Aquarelle is a bad choice. Aquarelle is for a specific. Every single booker was contacted, and so far, if you add me to contact, you will see highlights of the tour provided by me. Every single site will be marked on the Google Maps. If you click sites of the tour, you will see everything marked correctly on the Google Maps. So you will find it like if you will open this WhatsApp. I did it before, in advance to the tour, and you will be able to see my message, like for instance here, like I did to Anthony.
Yes.
Like, and there is a link for the Google Drive document provided by me. If you do so, if you open it, you will have like a document holding every single aspect of the tour.
Okay.
Sites of the tour, a review link, transportation tips. Do you have WhatsApp? If you open WhatsApp, you should have it. You have it? So, you have it, Anthony?
Is this number?
Yeah, it's me. Italian phone number, that's me. So far, yeah, should have it. Correct, that's me. If you add me to contact, you should see this link for the Google Drive My document that I shared with you. So you know everything from the tour background. Our next beautiful spot will be Fontana di Trevi, Trevi Fountain. And let's head over that particular way.
It's such an easy flight.
question. It's on the line. It's on the line. We need to go. Pass this card here and stick to this left side. Pages I realize I just love Chinese cuisine.
And what else?
Mountain. I don't know why Mountain. I like big wall, great wall. Yeah. Just, I've got the city which is ending up the great wall in the sea. Qingdao. So I should come back to China again. See. This is why when I came to the city of Rome,
Let's go.
I entered the Chinese university and I said, 你好，我说中文。
Jedziesz typów.
Ale zobacz, że to zabierają rano.
So, I got the question. So, how do you make? First of all, the water is run all the time. This is why it's not stagnating. It's not staying all the time. It will be no bacteria appearing. If it's running all the time, it will be absolutely safe. Second point, it will be less pressure in the pipes. The water is flowing all the time, which means you need
It's definitely
less
one
for the renovation of the pipeline of the infrastructure. And then it goes for the aqueduct. So we are walking to the Trevi Fountain, in which we will speak about the importance of an aqueduct. And in the context of a drinking fountain in this city area, most of the drinking fountains you use, they are fed up by the aqueduct. Indeed, for that at the Piazza Navona. So they are really important. I hope I answered your question.
So they are under the filtration from the government.
Yeah, most of the aqueducts have been destroyed, but one is fully operational, Aqua Virgo, from the year 19 BC, and we will see it like in a couple of steps. We are heading over for Trevi Fountain. So, which location of China will you recommend me to go?
Oh, depends on what you're looking for. Go
Uh,
back. What are you looking for? Or culture, history.
I want something different. History, I know you have a lot. I had been to the Terracotta Army in Xi'an.
Oh,
In Xi'an,
that's my hometown.
yeah.
Yeah. Do I look like one of them?
No. Why do you ask?
No, I'm just joking.
Actually, I wanted to go to Chongqing
Okay.
because the Chongqing is probably like a cyberpunk city looking absolutely different from I know Shanghai and the Yeah, I like it using everything related to Sichuan. So yeah. China propaganda sounds good. By the way, do you know actually we in Rome don't have pandas in the zoo? No, we don't have. Okay. It definitely is. Yeah, and when I visited the Roman zoo, like I actually brought my wife there, and she's like, I promised her we'll go for pandas, and we came, and there was no panda, and she was upset, saying like, where is panda? I want to see panda. Like, okay. What if I just put my I would put some ears, I would make myself white, and my And yeah, this will be breakfast. And I will be eating bamboo right now. And I will be Andy of Panda.
Yeah.
The only thing that I just try to learn Longhua, Mandarin, and basically I did only HSV2, not more. So I don't really speak really fluent.
But you can understand like when people.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, like the basic level, yes,
Yeah.
but not like a fluent speaker. Because I left China almost 10 years ago. I didn't have a lot of practice. I had some books, like I
Oh, but
practiced.
you can read.
Yeah, maximum of 1,500 hieroglyphs. I can.
Yeah, it should be on the side.
At least see how I can read it. German, French, English, Slovakian, bit of Czech. Yeah, they are like similar languages. Like I also studied Greek a bit
Oh,
and Chinese, maybe 7.
you're very talented.
I know. I wanted also to learn Cantonese, and I cannot figure out how you can even speak the Cantonese. The Cantonese is extremely difficult.
It's quite difficult. They have like there's 9 different tones.
But even Chinese cannot understand it. Right?
No.
People from Shenzhen don't really understand it. Only from Hong Kong.
That's right. Or Hong Kong.
So we are here at the Trevi Fountain, absolutely close to us, and we have to just cross the street there and turn right over there.
Вот, все. Самые глаза загорелись сразу, все лимон.
Away from the crowd. So I don't like to stay in the crowd. I should know Chinese like I should know more, maybe. I should get paid more for more languages. You know, sometimes in Italy you're looking for the important site and you come on the Harry's bar here. We are not going for the bar, by the way. It's a historical tour, right? I apologize. So we came actually here to the archaeological area called La Città dell'Acqua, like it's represented there. La Città dell'Acqua, which means the city of water, logically. How it's really connected to Trevi Fountain? Guys, directly, because without these, Trevi Fountain would be impossible. Let me ask you your memory check. Hope you are better than I am. Do you remember Pantheon? And it was a story about Marcus Agrippa, who founded Pantheon in the year 27 BC. So the year 19 BC, Marcus Agrippa constructed this. The thing located over there underneath the space, minus 10 meters to level of the ground, is an aqueduct museum. If you look on the right, that you will see the Trevi Fountain aqueduct. So yeah, I will just move more space. So you can look on the right on the images. That will be the aqueduct site images. So Marcus Agrippa constructed one of the most important infrastructure projects in the history of Rome. Why? It was a scarcity of fresh water in the year 19 BC. Romans were fighting during the military campaigns outside of Apennine Peninsula. Marcus Agrippa came back to Rome and he realized he found one woman who showed him basically the source of the fresh water. We have a small village nearby, Salone. It's outside of Rome, like 30 kilometers, in which we have the start point of an aqueduct. And the end point of an aqueduct is actually here. And all of that aqueduct, most of the infrastructure was constructed by Romans under the ground. So it's basically very, very cool trick how Romans tricked barbarians who invaded the city, destroyed all the aqueducts, and still it's working for all of the years. It's still fully operational aqueduct from the year 19 BC. If you go for the Park of the Aqueduct in Rome, we have like a really big park, in which like many movies have been shot. We'll see most of the aqueducts will be destroyed, and this one is still working. It's the Legion. So far, we came to the part. We skip this part, these pages, and we come on the part where popes have been renovating the endpoint of an aqueduct and building the fountains over the endpoint. First of all, it happened for Aqua Felice. Pope Sixtus V renovated Aqua Felice and the constructed Fountain of Moses. It's not too far, by the way, from Trevi. If you want to see something different besides of Trevi Fountain, you should open Google Maps and see the first big renovated fountain in the early Renaissance time. Fountain of Moses, located on the Repubblica metro station. It's really not too far, 20 minutes by train. Second happened for Fontana Acqua Paola. And the last one, Trevi, is a fountain of 3 streets constructed in the middle of the 18th century by Nicola Salvi. First of all, that palace, if you remember Trevi Fountain, I'm kind of sure most of you have seen Trevi Fountain, at least on the images, on the photos. So Trevi Fountain, as you remember, is incorporated to the palace. Palazzo Poli before was purchased by a family Conti da Poli. Poli is a small village outside of Rome. And so Giuseppe Conti da Poli purchased, this is why we named Palazzo Poli. So far, Pope Clemens XII realized that he cannot pay enough money for Gian Lorenzo Bernini, because Gian Lorenzo Bernini demanded a lot of more money. And he found Nicola Salvi, who was also from Rome. Nicola Salvi demanded less money, so he decided to choose less money architect. So far, Nicola Salvi did the job for the renovation of the palace, and so did the job for all of the fountain. So Trevi Fountain is the idea of a Pope Clemens XII, working Roman mythology topic. So Trevi Fountain will be looking like a big marble / travertine fountain, and it will be looking, I'm kind of sure you have seen that like this before and many times. Well, yeah, Trevi Fountain is a big one, probably the biggest one we have in the city of Rome, incorporated to the palace. The structure will be represented with a, like I said, fountain incorporated with a specific statue of Oceanus. That's actually the biggest one, representing the god of all waters around the globe. The central one, it will be located on the source of the water, so it's directly resembling this spot, the aqueduct. Left and the right, female statues will be representing abundance and also salubrity. And finally, you will see the history of an aqueduct. It will be small, squared shaped bas relief, representing Marcus Agrippa on the left and also foundation event on the right. So Nicola Salvi basically incorporated this place to the structure of the fountain. Clemens XII also ordered his inscription to be carved into the facade on the top, and the coat of arms of Corsini family did on top. Well, Nicola Salvi actually died at the work site. He was working 13 hours a day. One of the few architects that died basically working. So Pope Clemens XII said, architect died, bring me the next architect. So it was Giuseppe Panini who did the job in 1762. So it was 2 architects' job, 30 years of the work, and so we have a fountain constructed. The most famous in Rome. Now, what comes the time about why it makes so successful and the famous? I think about coins. Like, people are coming and tossing those coins, and why they do so. Did you know about this?
No, left. Don't do it on the left.
Yeah, like they do have a coin in the right hand.
Yeah.
They toss it over, there is a fountain, like left shoulder. If they do it one time, they say you will come back to Rome one more time. If you do it twice, you will be able to find a love of your life in Rome. If you do it 3 times, maybe you will marry him or her.
Oh, so we've got to do it again. Lou, we've got to do it again.
It's up to you to verify whether it's working or not. Okay. I'm married basically here. Somehow it may work, but it's up to you to verify. And they collect at least €1 million annually. Now, I'm straight get to the point that you can actually also construct your fountain in your country. You actually create a movie called 3 Coins in the Fountain, and you push people to throw coins in the fountain, which can be a very good business scheme. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least €1 million annually over there.
They give that to the poor?
To the Caritas, to the organization carrying the charity, Caritas. Correct. So if you will be actually curious about seeing something different besides of the Trevi Fountain, we have that's actually the back side of the church, Saint Vincent and Anastasia, San Vincenzo and Anastasio. That's actually the church from the middle of the 17th century, famous for being a specific relics place. The Vatican had been collected hearts of popes of 5 centuries.
The Vatican.
Yes, hearts of popes of 5 centuries, and they had been kept inside in the crypt area of the church.
In that one.
Yeah, it sounds really like most of the people who come to the Trevi Fountain, they looking for the beauty, and in case they turn right, they will see the church. If they enter, if they approach the outer side, they will see white marble plaque, big one, with a list of names of popes,
There you go, Lou.
hearts of which had been collected. The crypt area is typically closed to you. You should ask staff to open it just like for a quick peek and look how the basically vessels in which hearts of pope are collected. There are 22 of them. We have a newly elected pope from the US,
Yes.
and Leo XIV. The previous Leo XIII finished this tradition of gathering the hearts of popes in the 1903. So from the beginning of the last century, the Vatican does not collect any pope hearts. It's only for 5 centuries, and it was over here in the Church of Saint Vincent and Anastasia. We'll be there for 10 minutes of our time, taking photo, trying not to dive into you know, sometimes I said, like, I have a question, like, people ask me, what if I jump in the water?
You get into trouble.
No, I mean, not the trouble, maybe.
You get a fine.
You're fine, and I maybe lose you for this tour. I don't need this. Okay, I just need you, everyone here, okay?
Yeah.
So let's continue. Just on the left side will be at the Trevi Fountain. The fountain of the 3 streets.
Did you ever get tired of looking at these things? Always amazing.
It's so beautiful.
Yes.
Even more, I compare these to the countries I have been before. And I think that just everything was beautiful in every single country. It was just all it's blown my mind away. Every single time I come, I see like all my job, all my progress, everything. Wow, it's really cool. That's ready for me.
We don't know where we're going.
I just want to verify the question that for 10 minutes you should take a photo, come back to me. Location of this. Just spend 10 minutes, come back to me. There you should go. There is a staircase you are sent. The private code should be 1452. 1452. And I will wait. Ciao Luca, come va?
Ciao Gabo, come stai? Tutto ok?
Sì, sì, sì.
How long? 10?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Марьям хочет мороженое.
Quello che dobbiamo fare ci va direttamente.
Pode voltar.
get alright. Yeah, but I'll get a picture on you guys.
Let's see. Have you seen that before? Did you pay attention?
Not really.
You know what is going on? That's extremely old tradition, dating back not even the Christian, Roman time. So Romans had a deity that actually blessed the roads. Why? They had been doing like basically like blessings of the road with the installation of a deity of a Roman mythology. Okay, so we come this way. From the times of the BC. But when Rome became a Christian city, Pope Gregory I decided to convert these to the shrines of the Virgin Mary. So what they do, from the 6th century AD, they made like a Blessed Virgin painting looking at the crossroad. And we have approximately, if you ask me how many of them in the city of Rome, it will be a bit more than 450 these paintings on every single crossroad you see, like especially the central part, you will see this Virgin Mary image. So sometimes people say it was an ancient version of a CCTV, like we have now right now CCTV, like Virgin Mary looking at you, so you cannot violate the law and do some stuff about it. You know? So we call that officially as a La Madonnella. La Madonnella, it means small Mary, small Madonna. La Madonnella, like a small Mary representative. Yeah, so you'll find it's a lot. È buono? E quanto costa?
Yeah.
They used to do trees, they will bounce here. It's absolutely.
It's actually very nice. It's fine. Thank you. I really appreciate your kindness. Yeah. Or sorry. I actually, you know, in China I also began to adore bubble tea. Do you like bubble tea?
Yeah, very.
And it was my mistake because I brought my wife once there. So every time she asks me in the summer like gelato and the bubble tea. Like every single time. And I like my personal one, oolong with the cheese. With the cheese mix.
Yeah, cheese on top, right?
Yeah, it's really cool. Definitely. Definitely. Europe, you lost
Did we just pass here?
Huh?
Did we just pass on this road?
This? No, not yet.
Oh.
I know that many streets
Look
in
very
Rome, they
similar.
Look really similar. Sometimes, you know, when people are asking me like, have you been there before? Wait. I know, it really looks similar. Now, actually, in this spot, we will cover the same topic I spoke before about education. Now, a couple of words about this particular piazza. Extremely good way to discuss an education in Rome. So, before we had been to the fake dome church. Do you remember we being inside? Yes. Did you like it? It was really not that bad. I would say that actually it's also connected to the university we are located. The name of the university is Gregorian Pontifical University, Gregoriana Pontificia Università, quindi the Pope-approved school by Jesuit. It was originally a Roman college, and that's actually main campus. I brought us here for one specific small thing, how you should understand Italy and the Vatican. Especially if you came the first time in Italy, you should know the difference. Now, you can see the main campus, yeah? The main campus has the idea of the foundation. Roman numeral sequence on the left there, on the second floor, is saying 1553, the year when the foundation of the university happened. Time, while on the right side it's having 1930, the time when the university became a separate institution, and so far gained an independence, and they have found main campus here. Now you can compare this teaching staff building from the beginning of the 16th century, by far one of the oldest teaching staff buildings in Rome. You can see the state of the facade. And now when you turn your head on that building, Does it look more fresh?
Yes.
So now you can see the difference between the Italian budget and the Vatican budget.
Yeah.
It's fair enough, yeah. So in Italy, whenever you see this building with the Vatican focus walls, they have more money, they invest more money for the renovation. That's actually administration building for the university. It means Vatican citizens work there. This is why the building is kept much better. While there, teaching staff building, still beautiful, but well, unique one because it was never repurposed. It was always a teaching staff building for the university.
Why don't they repaint the
Sorry?
out? So why don't they repaint?
Repaint.
To make it look fresh.
It was no renovations for the last 15 years.
Oh,
That's actually no 15 years of the renovation.
so they don't want to make it look new.
It's the budget side. Budget side issue is always defined in Italy. Whenever you're looking, let's say you're looking for some church and some of the facade or the interior looks neglected, it always depends on the budget. It always depends on the managing part, whether they would like to hire an architect, because in Italy it's kind of actually hard to find a skilled architect. There are many architects.
Really?
And you should still look for the skilled one with a good portfolio of the projects. And in Italy, indeed, for the central part, it's a challenge to
You
find.
gotta pay.
So we will head over for the Basilica of the Holy 12 Apostles, right in a couple of steps. Andiamo. Yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely. In this city, it's always a challenge to find the right time for walking. In the summertime, my absolute obvious recommendation if you want to just walk. Central Park is kind of safe if you do it in the nighttime. It's absolutely okay. So me personally, absolutely agree. Most of my summertime walks at night. It's less people. It's still everything is illuminated. You can still observe Trevi Fountain, all the beauties, and it's better. Like in the autumn or spring or the winter time. Daytime is also beautiful. It's cooler. It's less people because it's low season. While the summertime is the hot season, which means it's more people who come in. But the nighttime is always best.
So what seasons and what month they had the most visitor?
July.
July had the most.
Let's wait.
Oh,
Let's wait.
so right now it's not really busy.
1 month it will be absolutely chaos.
So what month has the least of tourists?
February.
February. Oh.
February, it will be really. If you want to experience like Rome being mostly empty, it will be February.
Oh, it's after New Year.
Yeah. February is also the time, especially Piazza Navona having a Christmas market means a lot of people are coming in.
Yeah.
So after January, it's February, which means it will be absolutely lowest loading of the cities, like streets. It will be.
Tomorrow I will have a tour in Vatican City. So is it possible I can now I suppose encounter the Pope? Will we come out to greet everybody?
You want to see the Pope?
Yeah.
So you should come on this Piazza San Pietro on the St. Peter's Basilica in a specific time.
So Sunday or Saturday?
Should be better Sunday.
But I read it online. Said the Pope will come on Wednesday.
Yeah, but it depends on the schedule, which is not really like that. You can try tomorrow, and you will give me your feedback. How was it?
Okay.
But from my point of view, normally it should work. Sometimes Pope cannot go to the people, cannot basically do not come, do not expose himself. But it should work normally, as it's written on the website. It just depends on his own schedule. It depends on whether it's a whole day as well. So we came to the underrated basilica. Right behind me is a basilica of Holy 12 Apostles. Basilica dating back to the 6th century AD, originally constructed directly by Pope request by Pope. So far made the area of the relics placed in the city of Rome. Now you get to the city having all major basilicas, means if you will do all the major basilicas we have, and they are actually kind of small number. It's actually San Pietro, Saint Peter, the central, the Vatican, Saint Paul outside of the walls, Saint John Lateran, and the Saint Mary Magdalene. Peter, Paul, John, and Mary. If you do these all the major four, you are completely done with the major basilicas, and you should not bother anymore. And this one is a minor, and it's also specific basilica for relics of Saint Philip and Saint James, originally kept in the catacombs area. But the previous project of this church, before church, was looking absolutely different. It was basically destroyed by the earthquake strike in the 1348. Luckily, we have a pope who was living in that palace, Palazzo Colonna, on the right side, which is still privately owned by the same family from 13th century. So Pope came to power, and his name was Martin V. He said, "We will reconstruct the closest basilica to my house." So it was a 16th century when the Pope said, "We'll have an architect, we'll have a budget, we'll do this." So this central part, the porch, was created by Baccio Pompelli in 1570. The statues on top, on the parapet side, was added by Carlo Rainaldi in the 1655, representing apostles, and the Saint John the Baptist in the center, right over there. The bell tower was added only in 19th century, but in fact this final sign was also put in the 19th century by Giuseppe Valadier. Giuseppe Valadier did the clocks. For instance, in the St. Peter Basilica you have seen the biggest clocks created in Italy. Giuseppe Valadier also put the final sign. Now the church's basilica looking like a bit of uninviting. Maybe because of the fence is going on and the people are like feeling pushed off from the entrance. If you will come back to this side again, you will find this in the documents I have provided you. You will see how people are like just passing by but don't enter. Maybe because of the fence. But if you will be inside, you will be amazed by the numbers of the treasuries. First of all, it will be crypt area. If you will go for the outer side, you will descend by the staircase, full of marble, crypt holding the relics of Saint Philip and Saint James. You will see the vaulted ceiling part of the Gian Battista Gauli masterpiece, the Triumph of the Saint Francis, high altar painting by Domenico Moratori, and the tomb of Salve. Quindi you will see also Antonio Acanova's masterpiece, the tomb of the Pope, Clemens XIV. Beautiful basilica is also a place for the smallest church of Rome. Yeah, this is actually Palazzo de Scalchi. Kind of good area to live in. Sorry? No, we are not going there. It's actually a residential area. I'm just saying, we are standing nearby to palace of the family. The Scalchi is also the family from Lazio. Before they owned the palace fully, but right now they don't own it fully. It's not actually like a full property ownership. So far, we also have here the smallest church of Rome. Like in this area, we have a smallest church of Rome that you will not find in most of the tour guides. Like, if I say the name, I'm kind of sure you have not heard it before anyway. So, it's named as a Madonna dell'Archetto, which means the chapel, capella, of the Blessed Virgin in the passageway. So, it's located in that tiny street where the lights are blinking there.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow from 6 to 7 p.m. if you will reach that small part, you will see the open gate with the chapel looking like this. That will be the passageway, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
It's my photo. Like a small passageway, it's not having no idea what is covered inside. And inside, it's looking like this.
Wow. So from the outside you think it's nothing.
Yeah, because that's actually the smallest church of Rome, having only 10 chairs inside. So it's not like St. Peter's Basilica in which you will lose yourself. Here, no. It was constructed only in the middle of the 19th century for preserving one painting of Domenico Moratori, who also did the job for this high altar painting part. So this one is the small church of Rome, having only 80 reviews on Google Maps. Literally is not famous at all, and you will find it again as being Madonna dell'Archetto name in the document I have provided you on the Google Maps. Right? So our next stop, Piazza Venezia, big wedding cake Vittoriano will be there. Andiamo.
Mas aí fizemos a mesma
Все это будет Венеция, на которой, может быть, рассказывать какие-то истории про это, на которой, откуда он делал свою пропаганду, там такое, вы увидите.
The life is all around, like family, food, doing some stuff, and I don't know, no worries. As you can see, they are not like really worried at all about anything. Sometimes it's over relaxing.
Потому что тут дворцы еще. Бывшие дворцы. То, что мы сегодня
the noisy area of the Piazza Venezia, having a side and big piazza, big building that you'll see right behind. And we should cross the street right now. Let's go.
Una por el tuyo y otra porque como no
Is everyone here? Perfect. This way.
Do you know what time is the last bus running?
Around midnight.
Oh, 12. Okay, good.
And it's also a nocturnal bus, so also having a night bus. It depends the location you're heading over to. So from a Colosseum, they have a metro, yeah. Otherwise, it's also having a nearby bus stop. So if you just can give me your hint, like where you should head over to, I can suggest you how you should better locate to. So.
Yeah. Oh, well, right now I'm doing I'm going locally, so.
So
yeah.
Like from the Colosseum, you'll have plenty of bus still going on. No
but like after tomorrow, I will probably go to different city.
So you go outside?
Yeah, go
Which
outside.
one?
I will be going to Florence.
By train easily.
By train. And from Florence, I'm going to be going to Venice.
Also, they say it's actually very easy. You'll have either a Trenitalia company or Italo running fast trains. In a couple of hours, you will be on site.
Yeah. What about?
Guys, no worries. We will approach the central gates. You will have better tours.
Oh.
We are heading over for that particular building. No worries.
Are we going inside?
No, we'll head over. The central gates are closed, but we'll stand there for seeing Vittoriano from the central point,
Oh.
it will be good for your GoPro.
Yeah.
Right, let me check that everyone is still here. Perfect. And then we just cross this street and turn on the right. Let me guide you. When you cross, just show them the ball.
Go skiing.
There's not too many lights around here. It's just
They're not at all, aren't they? Not.
yeah.
Pretty rude. They come up Mr. Me.
Right temperature so far. We came in the side of the beautiful Vittoriano. The official name of the building is looking like super similar. The monument for the Victor Emmanuel II. And so
Oh, wow, okay,
Italian
okay.
nation had been unified only in the year 1861, which means it's actually not really an old country. So far it makes the idea of a whole nation to represent the new symbol, the new architectural glory for the new country of Italy. And so that makes the idea of a commission that had been gathered in the beginning of the 1880s in Rome, and they had been looking not for one, in case it was a team of the architect, almost 20 of them working at the project of Vittoriano. They had been governed by Giuseppe Sacconi, who represented the project the same 1880, and the project was having a different aspect, but they had been editing several times, realizing they will do the job mostly in the white marble in outer part. So far you can see Vittoriano right in front. Vittoriano is the 50 years of the work. First of all, the white marble bricks had been started to brought in the year 1885, in the middle of the year, and so far they had a lot of important milestones. While the most important part for the Vittoriano was the statue of the king installed in the 1911. That big statue right over there was installed in the middle of the 1911, and the statue became prominent for having important celebration. So if you will approach me, if you can see the important celebration by Italians. So you can see how Italian nation could celebrate this kind of statues. Yeah, that's actually the team of the architect represented in this historical photo. That's actually Giuseppe Sacconi, located on the left, the main architect represented in that kind. All of that team of people had been sitting inside in the belly of the horse when it was installed right over there. So that had been inside in the belly of the horse when it was installed on top of the monument. So that became to be one of the few less known parties in Italy for the architects doing the celebration of that kind. So 13 meters of bronze is also a unique place. That actually many people and the architects are giving the different feedback. Some people consider that to be unprofessional, like the statue had been lacking several details. Some people will say it's the first king of Italy, so it should be honored in an appropriate way. So that's actually one of the few statues of the Victor Emmanuel II in Rome you might see, and made in bronze. It's a unique one still. And Mussolini, who came to power in the 1920s, was very crucial about this. He said, you cannot have more money, so please, in the year 1935, this made it, and so that makes 50 years of timeline of the construction. So 1935 they did it. Vittoriano has 25 statues in total. 8 of them are made of bronze, so they are renovated. like here you can see, they are renovated for the Jubilee occasion. And the last year they had been fully closed, like a Piazza Navona fountain. So everything was manually polished by Italian engineers. And the statue, let's say, of thought by Giulio Monteverde and action by Girolamo Eracci. So far, I represented the idea of thought and action. It was doing by the Mazzini's inspiration. The central statue you can see having a golden mosaic in the background. That's actually the statue of the city of Rome. If you will approach this gate, you will see the statue of the gold mosaic in the background, representing this city we are located in, the Rome. A couple of eternal flames, and also the tomb of an unknown soldier with a couple of soldiers on the left and the right side, standing there 24 hours a day, also in the summer, also in the plus 40 degrees sunlight. Well, now comes the time about the purpose of this building. Many people may ask, Italians were doing this for what? They were doing for the architectural symbol and the Museum of Italian Unification, the Museum of Garibaldi. In fact, you will be able to find inside one of the oldest collections of Italian bandiera, the flag, and also the best collections of the military plans about the unification of Italy. So they had been doing the project, everything about related to the unification part of Italy. Well, you do so the visit for the museum. After all, if you will ascend this staircase, actually guys, if you'll go there for free, you can actually go there for free, by the way. If you don't know, you can go there for free. Inside here, you just ascend that area. You ascend that area of the Victor Emmanuel II statue. After all, you'll see the entrance part for the museum. And when you'll do the museum, by elevator you can go on the rooftop of Vittoriano. The 81 meter of Vittoriano, on top is the only skyscraper of Rome. So enjoy your time on the best scenic spot in the city, right on the top of the Vittoriano. And so that it makes the idea of this piazza. Piazza is a new project, this 1930 piazza. You can see here specific couple of buildings. Palazzo Venezia, originally the oldest page of Italian history book on this piazza. That goes for the last part of the 15th century, where it became to be the project of Venetian Republic Embassy, commissioned by Cardinal Pietro Barbo to become a Venice Republic Embassy here. So far, it's also famous for being one of the best collections of weapons in the early Renaissance time. So inside, not just a museum, but also a weapon collection. And also one of the biggest collections of history and art library in Rome. Mussolini also occupied the building in that actually balcony. You can see like the blue flag representing the idea of that balcony where Mussolini executed his propaganda in 1920s, 1930s. Like that time, Italians were like, they were not really happy about that time because Mussolini declared the propaganda campaign called For the Fatherland, means they invited Italians to bring like wedding rings to collect it and sell it and start a military campaign in Ethiopia. So like the building has a controversial fame at that time. Palazzo Venezia was also copied by Giuseppe Sacconi, the author of Vittoriano, that way. So they made a neo-Renaissance palace in the 1911. As you can see, the palace is looking like
like that
having
does, yeah.
mirror aesthetics of the Palazzo Venezia.
That's bigger.
Yeah, called Palazzo Generale di Roma, the biggest insurance company in Rome. It's also having an absurd white marble plex. If you'll come on the right side part, like from the right side, on the second floor you'll see 3 white marble plaques installed on the facade. One will be saying Qui era la casa consacrata dalla dimora e dalla morte di Divino Michelangelo, which is saying that there was a house where Divine Michelangelo lived and died, which is actually an absolute thing, because Michelangelo was living 5 centuries before the palace was even constructed. So that makes the idea of Palazzo Venezia brother, or the twin, and from this part Mussolini was doing his military parades until the Colosseum part. So we'll head over on the Via dei Fori Imperiali until that way for seeing our beautiful Colosseum, the last stop. So we'll pass by the fountain of the Adriatic Sea. you'll come back at least 8 years more in the nearest future, you'll still here. Enjoy your time in the city of eternal construction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so this way, I head over for Colosseum.
Colosseum. Colosseum. 18 years. Then you say 18 years or 80 years?
You should expect here at least these construction works, which means enjoy time in Rome. As people say, yeah, I mean, you know, I came to the city, the eternal city, and I say, no, the city of eternal construction, because when they start, they never finish.
I thought you say we should visit after this week somewhere.
No.
I won't be here.
No
longer here.
In case if you will come back,
That's very weird.
yeah, you just wait for the better view. You'll find there the better view.
Oh, really? It's with the moon.
You can come for that time.
Yeah. First price. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. This time, in this time of year, Romans also walk a lot in the night.
Yeah.
Because it's not that hot. We'll speak about this site we are located to. And
What are we doing here?
we came also, ladies and gentlemen, to the heart of Rome. Well, we are in the Via dei Fori Imperiali, in the central street, so-called time travel highway. The way I call time travel highway is actually a good way, because the city is connecting different epochs, starting from Piazza Venezia, dating back to the early Renaissance time, Palazzo Venezia. Vittoriano is 1935, while here we have the year 45 BC Roman Forum, and actually this part is the Forum of the Julius Caesar, the oldest forum you might have in Rome, with the Temple of the Venice. Genetrix is here, representing the central square. After the columns are ended, there is actually central square, but also all of this is, in fact, one of the biggest pagan temple in the nearby to Roman Forum, the Temple of the Venice. We also have here in this proximity, on the opposite part of Via dei Fori Imperiali, the Trajan Forum over there, from the opposite part. Now, that part has one of the best preserved columns made of marble. Like over there, having a statue of a Saint Peter over the top from 1587, but column originally dating back to the early 2nd century AD, representing unexpectedly newspaper from the 2nd century AD. So the columns are having a specific spiral bas relief going from the lowest part to the top. So far, the story of the Second Dacian War in the year 113. Now it also has the oldest shopping mall of humankind. That half-moon building is in fact Market of Trajan, absolutely insane scale project. So that is going to the year 115. The idea of Trajan was to combine his government, companies and the merchant points into one building. So that makes the idea of a central shopping mall of Romans there. The facility of a Trajan Forum also includes the Basilica Ulpia, the biggest courthouse, and also the central square of its forum there. There is also Forum of Augustus. After all goes the Forum of Nerva, and after the Forum of the Julius Caesar, here we have a Roman Forum and the Palatine Hill. All of this is basically time travel highway. Now comes the boring part to the end. What about the controversial part, I would say? So now, if I ask you, can you look for this small passageway to that cave, which is actually not a cave, right? So what I mean by saying this is actually Via dei Fori Imperiali is constructed over the several emperor forum. And it was also the idea of Mussolini to make it. Mussolini was about to connect Piazza Venezia with the Colosseum, to make it, in fact, the glorification connection of the past and the future. So we still sometimes can see the justification. Mussolini was a dictator and the fascist regime ruler, but he constructed this street, which will allow us to walk for 10 minutes. Before 1932, it would require us to walk 1.5 hours, but right now we'll make it in 10 minutes. So it's up to you to just decide whether it was a good project or not. I still think it was a good project, so that we can make it in 10 minutes. But still, the Via dei Fori Imperiali is constructed again against all the architectural rules and the sanity, because it goes over the several emperor forum. And anyway, heading over for the Colosseum, our last stop.
Дорога, которая вот это вот, о чем говорит, где проложенная Муссолини. Вот здесь раньше надо было идти час, чем дойти отсюда до...
But we are definitely planning.
Sorry.
On a peut y aller chercher. Ouais, ça va dire que ce sera plus simple. Oui, alors qu'il
Тоже часть нашего. Послезавтра у нас часть. Одно дело вот сейчас, когда прохладно здесь ходить, а другое дело, когда у нас тур на этой сумасшедшей жаре.
So what we have here is actually the birthplace of the city right in the background. There, that hill, named Palatine Hill, dating back to the year 753 BC, where Romulus was in dispute with Remus on choosing the foundation place. Remus was about Aventine Hill. Aventine is not too far. Or Aventine Hill. It's located after the Capitoline. So that's actually Capitoline Hill. After the Capitoline Hill, we have Aventine Hill. So Remus was preferring on building the first basilica there, while Romulus was in the dispute and he basically killed him. So that he decided to found the city on the Palatine Hill in the year 753 BC. Now, there you'll find the biggest number of treasuries in a good condition though. It's actually a very good place for observing where the first house of the Augustus was built. And also the building which is right in front, having those illumination, white and the yellow patterns representing House of Vestals, basically the house of virgin preachers. So far, that makes the idea of there, precisely, Romulus declared the city to be founded. We have also the Temple of Faustine there. One of the oldest building of the Roman Senate is also there. and the Temple of Romulus. All of this is basically the facility of a Roman Forum, the business powerhouse of Roman era from the 8th century BC. So all of this is Roman Forum. In case you'll be having a tour in the Colosseum, you'll have also a tour here. And you'll also go for the Forum of the Julius Caesar. And you also go for the Palatine Hill, so it will be 3 in 1 ticket, it should be. Yep. From this way, it will be extremely close to reach Colosseum, just 5 minutes by foot. And it will be our last stop of the beautiful journey for today.
So we go to Colosseum now. What is this? What? So this is a part of
Roman Forum.
Roman
All of
Forum.
this is actually the main business square of Rome. This is where a lot of the business had been going on from the 8th century BC, basically. Everything. The building is dating back over there, Temple of the Faustine. That building on the opposite part to that hill, House of Vestals, basically the main scenic spot of the Palatine Hill. And all of this in front is basically a facility, merchant points, and the main square. Now, this one, it will be a separate topic of your discussion in the tour on the Roman Forum, because you will walk here approximately 3 hours if you have a separate tour for that.
for entire.
Yeah, this one will be around 3 hours.
Ew.
All right, so Colosseum is also there, our last stop. Andiamo.
Словами говоришь, я не знаю.
For the warehouses. They have been doing that for the construction time in the year 75 AD. Now, the same applies to the engineering part in the top. If you look for the top part, like in the top part of the Colosseum, you might have seen square holes. Can you see that right now? Like a place for the square holes. That had been a place for the specific wooden pillars operated by unexpectedly Roman naval fleet, and the first retractable awning system like in the modern stadiums had been actually created here in the Colosseum. So if you have a visit on the modern stadium, how it's operating to cover the shade or cover from the rain, it's actually originated from the Colosseum from the year 85 AD. Now, the Colosseum had an unhappy fate of being not just and being military invaded or something like that. Most of the time sacked and plundered. The backside there is nothing to see why, because Colosseum started from the 13th century AD by request of Pope Honorius III was about to use being the source material place. Many buildings in Rome you have seen, like Palazzo Venezia on the Piazza Venezia there, was actually constructed also by using materials from the Colosseum. The same applies for Trevi Fountain, Basilica of San Pietro, and many more. Many of them had been just being constructed using Colosseum concrete, tuff, and the limestone. And so that makes only 30% of the condition of the Colosseum right now. So that makes the cultural hub of Rome, and also the end of my introduction part about Colosseum tour, which is lasting several hours. So far, the last stop of the beautiful journey. And do you like it? How was it?
Beautiful. Grazie.
Thank you so much.
Nice.
Appreciate, and would be like to also know your questions right now and in advance, just in case. And if you're looking for the transportation, there?
Yes,
Just
yes.
in case.
Yes.
Metro station still working. There is a bus stop over there. If you, just in case,